Okay.
All right. This is Willie T from VA Baseline.
What's going on? This is Sumo from VA Baseline. And for this episode of Wub Theory, we have Mymymy
Yay!
and her best friend Dior. So how are you feeling tonight?
I'm peachy, as I always say, tell everybody. So.
I love that. No, you've been playing a lot of shows recently, and I've been seeing the work that you've been putting out there, and
I appreciate you.
I want to let you know I respect it all, and I've had fun. I had a lot of fun at Sippy, and it's amazing to have you here for this.
Yeah,
for this interview.
I didn't realize that you got to go. I wish you said hi in person.
Oh no, trust me.
Yeah.
It was hectic. It was very hectic.
It was a pretty packed out house. I was really surprised because it was Ryan Thomas, a drum and bass artist before me, and then even when he played, everybody was started to come in. I think because they were trying to get a spot. And
that's something I will note about that show. There was a lot of people there early.
Yeah,
a lot of people showed up.
And that was kind of nice since usually the first two spots is when you get to get more spotlight for the local acts and everything.
Mm-hmm. How did it feel when you found out you were going to open for Sippy? What was your initial feeling?
So it was really surprising because I've only played one big national show for Peabody's back in June, and that was me pushing myself, and I was my balls dropped for that. I don't know if that's the right term to say, but I was just I want to do a show and just open. Let me see how this goes, and then just shoot my shot. So I sent a message to the talent buyer there. And I was just kind of hey, I play this, I play house, I play EDM, I just want to just put my foot at the door. So I showed up, and it was obviously a really small crowd at the time, which is perfect for me. That's okay. I don't need a big crowd for my first big show like that. Everybody received it really well. And then he was even really surprised because he thought I was just going to play tech house, just 125, and I was playing so many flavors of EDM from hey, I was playing some bass music to ballet funk to garage to UKG to grime, and they were oh, you can play a bunch of stuff. So when he invited me back, he ran up to me in one of the shows that I went to in between. He goes, "Do you want to go play for Sippy?" And I'm "Oh. Yeah, I know Sippy. Yeah, of course." And I think part of it too is I just want to be a good representative for women too. They really need to push more women DJs, and then the fact that I was invited not just but for my talent, and then that he actually liked it, and then plus for another girl headlining DJ. So I was
it was
great.
An awesome
I was
opportunity.
It is it's
personally,
awesome.
I've watched a lot of your YouTube videos. I've seen the Selective series. Yeah. I've seen all your mixes. Yeah. And honestly, I'm trying to remember the exact name of it. It was Chill something. You were on the beach. It was the one where you were on the beach.
Yeah, beach. Oh, you like that one?
That one is honestly one of the ones I gravitate towards. I keep replaying it a little bit.
So that was a funny story about that.
We were both playing that. I was just
we listened to it before going here too.
I was yo, she's just vibing on the beach. It's so cool.
So I've been wanting to do that so many times. I was supposed to get, if you guys know Peter Fado.
Oh yeah.
To get his
he was our first.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm glad you guys know him. So he was supposed to help me out, set it up because I'm not too familiar with audio yet. But the weather was getting cold, so the summer flies by so fast, right?
Yeah.
And I was I really want to do this project, keep it consistent, not just do one episode or whatever. And so I did it, and it was in the middle of October, and the sun was setting. This was at Shore Drive, so that's the only area where you can see the pretty sunset on the beach and everything. And I had to make sure that was the golden hour, right?
I literally made a comment about that when we were watching it for the first time. I said she nailed the sunset.
Right, the golden, yeah. So I look like an absolute crazy person. I borrowed a friend's wagon, and it wasn't sand friendly, and I was by myself, so I was hauling my my big DJ deck, and then I bought a power bank and everything, and then that's
headphones.
yeah. I forgot my headphones.
That's how you know he's
That's like, thank you. I'm glad that you noticed that because it was such a struggle. So I'm like hauling all of my equipment through the sand, and by the time I got to I parked my car, it was already like heavy enough to like haul into the beach, and then I looked so stupid just going, just like just dragging this big wagon by myself, and everybody's just like,
I've been there.
No, we went to OBX and we brought a Flex 4 out to the beach, and then it turned to a windstorm.
There was a thunderstorm that came through.
when the wind starts picking up, those sands is just gonna attack your face. Because I tried to do it again, and I didn't post that one because of how, like, one, it was midday. So the sun was overhead. So I'm over, like, the sun was like reflecting off of the sand, and I'm over here like, my eyes are they're like getting fried. And then also the the sand was being kicked up because it was windy. This was that first landing. So this was like pretty over there, you know. But I was just like, okay, thank God at least I got one beach set. But
honestly, I loved it. The aesthetics of the visual, all of it, and the craziest part is like literally I looked at him, I was like, she's doing all this with no headphones? Like I kept like
I did have a speaker going out though.
And that's when I read the description, you're like, I forgot the headphones.
Yeah, I was so mad. I set it up and I was like putting out everything, and then like I'm looking back and it's just like the sun is setting, and I'm like, I don't have my headphones. And I'm like, I was gonna thug it out. I know what each song is. You can see the waveforms. It's fine. Like, and I'm my deck is like only compatible in Serato, so I'm like I can see where everything is, where the song ends and drops and all that. So that's how I can phrase like all the songs if you're familiar with DJing, of course. So, but yeah, I made it work and it sounded really good. The only thing I was self-conscious about was like, you could tell on my face I was kind of over it. Yeah. Like I was like.
I feel like that's me anytime I play at the beach or on the beach. I swear it's the sand. It's always the sand. And having people that are a little bit too turned up running around by your decks, like even more laptop.
I always imagine like sand getting in the wheels and little things like that.
I left it where like you enter, because it was picking up all the sand, and then I was just pretty much going under. Does that make sense? Like, so what I did was like I left it where the entrance is to the beach, and then I was like picking up and finding a place where there's no kids and there's people like walking by and everything. Like I went as a secluded area as possible, but there are still people going like. And mind you, I didn't have it loud. I only had it within like. So you had to be like standing next to me to really hear the music that I was playing.
The thing too about playing bass music out in public too, it's like you don't want to disturb those grandmas or grandpas that are like trying to enjoy their day, or like even regular people that aren't like used to it. I feel that.
Right. I get the
last time we played in public, we were playing in First Landing actually, but we were on the inshore side and we were playing off the river, like that little beach they have over there. And I'll never forget, we were playing with Third Eye Frequencies. Shout out Third Eye Frequencies.
Shout out Eric.
But like towards the end of it, a park ranger came up to us. She was like, what you're doing isn't illegal, but I just want to let you guys know I've had 8 complaints so far.
Oh, really?
And I'm like,
so, because the bass carries.
To be fair, we were obnoxious.
We were being obnoxious.
Yeah.
But I played the 5th.
Yeah. No. So I will say when it comes to like sound engineering and all that, you have to really be mindful about like how like all of your low end stuff, because it just like hits and carries like across the beach. Because I'm just like, I remember going like, it was at First Landing, going what do you call it? Paddle boarding. Yeah. And I just see all these boats, and they had boat church.
Really?
Boat church. I was like, dang, these are rich ass people. Having boat church, and you just hear worship music just going on the corner where you pull up and everything, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to paddle board.
So that was just a big thing for me, learning about artists and whatnot. So, what's your do you have any musical background, like growing up and stuff, like playing in band, orchestra, or even maybe church and stuff like that?
That's a good question. I mean, I've always been exposed to like music, like all kinds. Like being Filipino, we're like all blessed with with rhythm, with having rhythm. You know what I'm saying? we're so
Karaoke.
There's karaoke. We're gonna make them. You gotta go
man murders
sing.
karaoke.
Yeah, but we gotta go to a bar sometime.
Oh, I'm down. Go to public house or
we
something.
gotta do like EDM karaoke.
So
we just
it's gonna see me like wait for it.
no one has done that yet. It's just like, I think that should be
Bro,
implemented.
that's where beatboxers come in. You see a beatboxer matching like a
That honestly, I wouldn't even like blah blah blah, just going on the mic and shit. Like I think that we should totally.
I got a mean CeeLo Green. Fuck you though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just.
Oh, that's a good one.
seriously.
Mine is Queen by ABBA.
Yeah.
Like or like Dancing Queen.
Go-to karaoke?
Yeah.
Okay.
You had to
My
belt out for that.
My go-to karaoke song is "This Love" by Maroon 5.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That is a good one.
And everybody's gonna
You were
sing
there
to
for
that.
right?
Yeah.
You were there that one night. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you really want to get the folks, like the older folks going, you want to sing like "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey.
Oh my
You know what I'm
god.
saying?
That is a classic.
That's how I started singing. Journey.
What
Stephen
no one
Perry.
ever expects.
What?
No Role Models by J. Cole. I will
That's
sing that
good.
shit. I'll walk around the damn bar
Yeah.
singing word for word. Or rapping it to me.
Or Mr. Bright. Like Bright.
Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
Mr.
Brightside by
Brightside.
the Killers. Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah. It gets the people going. You know.
I mean, to be fair, I've been 5 beers deep. Heard Mr. Brightside, I've gotten a little lit to it.
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
I purposely get invited to karaoke's because I have a good karaoke song list. So not only am I a good DJ at like shows, but I'm gonna make a good KJ.
It's like something that got you to like start reading the crowd, you know?
Right, you have to.
I mean?
You have to be
Yeah.
a good curator. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
exactly.
like, obviously, I wouldn't be playing wubby music when I'm like my parents are around. You know,
Yeah,
I'm like a
yeah.
conservative Christian family. Like, you're gonna want to make sure that they're comfortable too. Otherwise, they're just like, oh, what are you playing?
Yeah,
you know?
no, so I mean, yeah, even with like the karaoke and like having the ear for it, like, so did you have any like orchestra or any like instruments you played maybe growing up?
So
or-
when I was growing up, I taught myself how to play piano. Like,
Gotcha.
and then I played the guitar a little bit. I have a ukulele. I played on drums for a little bit. Like I'm so ADHD. Like I'm just like, oh, that's cool. I'll get my hands on it to practice. Like I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. I will tell you, like I'm not particularly the best at one thing, but if I do it, I'll do my best to at least execute. And I would say the one thing that I have absolutely gravitated to is just like picking up on what good music is.
Yeah.
And I've been making playlists and all that. It's like it only makes sense to make song lists or mix them and all that. And I guess with how it all went towards EDM, I just remember being on my desktop watching UKF dubstep. You know what I'm saying? Well, you don't watch it because you're just like a pulsing like shield, you know, Captain America shield. It's just like on the background. And and then it converted to like these DJ sets of people in their bedrooms. And then I would watch like EDC, Las Vegas, and Winter Music Conference, which is now Ultra Music Festival, and just listening to all of these DJ sets. I'm like, you see the energy through the crowd. It's like so contagious, and I'm like, I want to do that. But how do I get there? And then we didn't have the resources that we did last time, like where they had, like we have FLX4s now, like the little DJ, like the people can now like practice. It's like,
is so good.
like they're like $300-$400 just to start practicing DJ.
300, yo.
Yeah,
300,
and but like.
You get your
With the
Big Boy
warranty.
record box, all the
Yeah.
things that equates as you scale up.
Yeah, but 10
where-
years ago, you didn't really have those resources. You either get like a hoopty or like you got to know somebody who like actually took care of those things. So, but yeah, like they have apps for it. Like I didn't really start genuinely mixing until I got a big girl job, and I was just like, I really want to do this thing, and then I want to see how it goes. And I started with house music because house music is really easy to beat match and also flow with. And then after that, like when things started getting really serious, then I was like, well, I like all the other songs like 140, Garage or Garage, and Grime and all that, 140, everything. And I'm just like been exposed to a lot of the other DJs around the area, and I'm like, and I asked them like, how did you, how do you mix these things? And I'm just like, it's just phrasing, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I don't know. It's like, you just like rise and then drop, and I'm like, oh, okay, you just make sure you time it well. Like you'll be fine, and you just cue it up, and I'm like, oh, okay, got it. And ever since then, like really, everything that I mix now, I've just learned like this past year. Everything else has just been like, okay, well, I just like these songs, and then I'll just delay it out or like, you know, mix into others and all that. And I watch very closely like people who I admire and I like to listen to DJ, like what knobs are they turning. You know,
and I love your style. I just want to say that.
Thank you.
There's not a lot of local female artists out here, and even females in general in the EDM space. Like it's a breath of fresh air to like when I
for sure.
Like the way you have so many different styles, and you're you're very good. And not only that, you aspire to put other people on and like build what's around you up while building yourself up.
And it can be very, for me, some moment, like I've been listening to your sets for the past 2 weeks, if I'm being honest, you and Spectre, and it's like there's those moments where I'm chilling out, and it's always when I'm in the car too, and then you'll still have those high energy moments during a set,
and that's you have to keep people engaged because everybody is just like so like have like a short attention span, so you have to make sure you select your stuff like very like, you know, meticulously.
Do you have like any certain like thing or something that goes that like you know how someone will do like a ritual before a game type deal? Do you have like a certain way you go about
like before a show and
like
all
before
that?
a show, before the prepping of the playlist? Like, do you have something unique you do that like it's like a ritual almost, like you feel like
it's always nice to be very prepared. I mean, you got open format DJs and then you have like EDM DJs who have like their whole entire crate set up and all that. And it's hard to just, when you're like playing to like a crowd of like a variety of people or like a very certain niche of like type of show, like most of them just have their songs like pretty much all lined up. So I'm totally for like making sure my playlist is in order, all of my cues and all that, and then also extra songs to like, you know, put aside in case. Because sometimes like I mix too early and I'm like, oh, I should play like an extra song, or I'm like, oh, I played too late and I cut off like not on time. So I always practice like at least a week before, and I revisit it because I'll probably be a couple of drinks in or like shrooming and all that. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah. But I'm like microdosing healthily. It's like that's California sober. Yeah. But like, but like when you get that creative like flow and you're locked in and then you revisit it and I'm like, it sounds like Flintstones, like, you know, like running and it's just silly. And I'm like, oh, it's that wasn't as good as I thought it was. And I was just like, I felt like I was cooking when I was like going through the flow. Yeah. But yeah, I tend to have like a workflow. I tend to go through, instead of like being on the decks, I tend to DJ off of the laptop. If I could DJ off the laptop, I would. Honestly,
you get so much more capabilities a lot of the time, like little ease of the way of life.
Like stem separation and stuff, you know. Yeah. It's like, but there's an artistry to both forms, you know?
Yeah, I would say like I big up for people who are like open format DJs because they have all the type of music that it's like prepared for everyone and everybody. You know, they don't care if it's EDM. It's like if it's familiar to them and it gets them going and singing along, like that's what makes a good DJ.
Yeah, I agree. So, it's not just the tracks you play, but it's the way you combine them and the energy you make other people feel.
Like, I will say there are a lot more successful DJs than me, and they don't know how to mix and transition for shit. And they could just stop a song and then just like stop that one, awkward silence, and then they would play like a banger after. Yeah. And then that's how they get it. And I'm like, and then that's when I realized, I look in the mirror, I'm like, I'm overthinking all this shit.
And truthfully, it takes...
I feel for you.
And it takes someone who partakes in the craft to really hear the mess-ups in the craft. If
for sure. I think we're both guilty of that.
They're messing up pretty bad. Right. You know what I mean? Because like even me, like I understand aspects of the craft. I'm not in it daily mixing all the time. But like without me seeing the record box screen, I get lost on what exactly you're doing right there. You know what I mean?
Well, there's some people who do it visually, and then you have to also pair it with having a good ear, and then being like in a big room, like a club with all of that loud speakers, and sometimes the sound bounces all over the place. You can't tell. And I found that the louder the venue is, the less prominent the mistakes are. So
it gets lost in the bass.
It gets lost in the bass anyway, and everybody is like drunk and inebriated, so who cares sometimes? But at the end of the day, it's not like we're just pressing play and then it's like some pre-recorded shit. Like we're actually like playing, you know? Like when I mess up, I'm like, oh, I hear her. It's like she's actually playing. And I know there's people who probably think, I'm like, oh, she's really not playing. I'm like, no, I'm playing. Like, so I'm human, dude. Like, this is a human thing. Now everybody's like, it's AI, it's AI.
Oh my.
You know?
I'm happy I haven't had to run into that.
Yeah, I'm not. I was like, that's crazy, right? Yeah, we're not.
No, and that's like,
as well.
a lot of people don't, some people don't even understand the aspect of it's like, yeah, we're trying to make it sound nice for the entire crowd, but at the same time, we have these people that we look up to, or like people that are in the scene that are there and they're DJs or producers, and they're sitting there listening to it and like, oh God, I don't want to mess up in front of them.
That's like, I was like, there's people who go because they do enjoy the shows, they want to be around other people, and that's great. But then when you're a person who is on stage and you know your other friends are also listening, and your friends who are also DJs that are probably a little bit bigger, you're like, oh, it's like I just did a show in Richmond, and that's unknown territory to me. That was my first show out of the city, and I had expectations, and I was building all this thing, and it was like I was in my head, and I will say I was like, it was underwhelming, but people still enjoyed it. Of course, my friends were like, oh, it was good, and I'm like, but it wasn't like, wow, that was amazing. Like, I usually, you can't win.
Too.
You can't win them all.
I'm hard on myself like that, especially a lot of these shows. Like, I'll have friends come up at the end and say, it sounds good. I'm like, y'all don't understand the heat I had prepared for you.
Yeah.
What I expected of myself to do for you guys, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, recently, like, I had a show at Bonchon and, my USB was corrupted, and I had to run off my best friend's USB.
Don't tell me about a corrupted USB. That was my very first show back in June when I opened for Tsunami.
Yeah.
All three of my USBs corrupted.
All three?
All three of them, yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of someone triple corrupted. That's
crazy.
So,
go ahead on that one.
The first one was a SanDisk 128 gig. Yeah. It was too big. And I didn't know that.
Large capacity.
Yeah. Then I had the other 32 gigs. It only read half of the stuff that I downloaded.
Personally, I recommend a bunch of 16 gigs. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's nice. And it's the best middle ground and sweet spot for most systems. Because like the moment you go bigger than that, you're risking like failure. Like it just corrupted, something going wrong.
I learned so fast, and like in the middle of my set, and I could have ended strong, but I was like 30 minutes in, and I was like playing the Charlie XCX song, and all the girls were like, "Oh my gosh, yay!" And then I looked at the tech guy, and I was just like, "I'm good, man." Oh, we got
shout out to Steven. Yeah, delicious snickerdoodle cookies.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the small one.
So when was your first time going up on decks and being at a show or a party or like a kickback? Like, what was that experience like? Like, what decks were you on, or like, how did you feel at the time about that show?
Like finally being in front of people.
In front of people.
So I was
instead of the bedroom DJ.
Yeah, I was definitely like a closeted bedroom DJ, fantasizing, having a big crowd and all that. But like just the idea of having all eyes on you is like just absolutely intimidating. And I like curating. I love the music that I mix, and I'm just like, I don't really care what other people think. But then I knew this was back in 2024, and that I just needed to grow and like push my boundaries a little bit. So I didn't get much opportunities or have any connections. I was just so cut off of the world because I was just so fixated on my job. And I finally, I saw a couple of friends and a friend of a friend. They go by Kill Devil Disco. Shout out Al Key for giving me this opportunity.
He's
awesome.
Look, I was talking with him like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
In Danny Hayes' garage, funny enough.
Yeah.
Shout out Danny.
Yeah. So he has Kill Devil Disco with Evan, and they were playing at where was it? Sessions off of Shore Drive, which a lot of like house DJs would play at, and it's a beautiful little bar. So hit him up, and I was just like, hey, I love your guys' style. It kind of resonates with what I'm doing. I would love to open for you guys one day. And just messaged him on Instagram, and he was just like, yeah, sure, come on over. So I got to meet him on their show at that Sessions bar. Then they said, like, well, we're playing in March. You should just open for us. So I was like, okay. And now, mind you, this was at Love Song. So Love Song has like a kind of speakeasy-ish bar, which is like Love Song is like very ritzy in the front, and then the back bar is just like it looks like a boys like
or like a
no, like
hidden,
it looks like a little boys what is it, man cave. Almost.
Man cave.
Yeah, it looks like a boys' man cave, but it only fits like 50 people, just at most. Like not even, maybe 20 people. So tiny, like maybe half of this room. And my friends got to come out, and they were just like, dude, that was like so freaking lit. And I still have the video of everybody like jumping, and I was playing house music, and everybody's hooping and hollering. They were like ready drinks in. And I think just from that love and support really pushed me to like, I'm like, oh, maybe I should start doing this thing. Yeah. And after the show, I didn't ask for any money, but they were like, you're going to get more bookings, sis. And then they just walked away, and I'm like, who is that who just talked to me? So come to find out, like later on, I started doing work for Utopia Fenny, which is...
Word? Shout out Utopia Fenny.
Yeah, shout out Utopia Fenny. And Raisa, a woman-owned... art collective and all that, and I'm just representing them. So I did a couple of First Fridays for them, and then from there I met like other women DJs in the scene that are like underground to like hip hop, and they're just so talented, and they just have such good ears, and I've just been so inspired since then. And then I think just that community in general, from like person to person, and then nerding out too, like the connecting through music is what pushed me to keep doing these shows, because you never know who you meet when you start doing these shows. And I meet more and more people, and that's how I ended up doing the show in June, and then I get to meet you guys and everything, doing like
it's crazy when you start really diving into your passions. You start diving into wherever you're at, your city, your scene, and like you just, the way it all happens, it feels like a movie. It feels like a movie.
It's even meeting the right people too, just meeting the right people at the right time.
My glow up has been crazy these last 2 years, because like most of my 20s has just been like surviving, like when we all had to, like in this economy, we have to just like put in all the work, you know. And then now that I'm just kind of like, all my ducks are in a row. All my ducks are probably pissed that they're in a freaking row, but like they're just everything's following now, that I'm like, let me just do this side quest now. Like I feel like DJ Diesel, freaking Shaquille O'Neal, just doing side quests now and like doing this thing, and just again having all these connections and making friends and like getting to travel now, and people are like, you DJ, and I'm over here like, yes, yeah, I do, I kind of do, like don't worry about it. And they're like, okay, like I'll follow you. And my Instagram grew, like I'm just over here like, oh my god, all these eyes, like I have like 1,700 followers now, and I'm just like, can you imagine what 1,700 people in a room is like? You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. But most of them are speculators, or they're like from across the
Congratulations on your growth.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it really means a lot. Yeah. But yeah, going from like, I'm a type of person who likes to keep a tight knit of people, so I always believe that having 4 quarters is better than 100 pennies. So, right. Preach. So.
But do you have anything big going on this year? Like anything in the near future?
I would say I have like a couple of goals this year. So I still want to continue doing like YouTube recordings, just so I can get comfortable, and also like just challenge myself to towards other genres of music to mix and curate. And also, most of my friends who are in my tight-knit circle are introverted, so they like to listen to it. So I tend to curate these playlists for them to revisit anytime. And I do have, I am opening up for Caruza.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Which is crazy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I was literally like, me? Like me? I was like, okay, sure.
I'm going to be there. We are going to be there for that.
Was that March 5th?
March 8th.
March 7th.
March 7th. Yep, off camera.
Yeah.
Yep, March 7th.
Yeah, March 7th, and it's gonna be with Hertz, and then No Diesel, which is another heavy hitter. And
I saw that too. I was like, what? I missed them last time.
I was reposting the hell out of it the first day, and then like y'all had to like do a repost on it.
That's a
like,
that's one hell of a
I was telling everybody
lineup,
about it.
But
for
seriously,
sure.
congratulations. Because Caruza, shout out to Caruza, by the way.
Yeah.
It's really one of the heaviest locals we got around here.
Yeah, and he's doing
And,
like national shows. He's done one in PA to DC, Richmond.
And not
He's
only
been
that,
doing-
Texas.
Yeah.
The way he handles like doing shows while also like curating shows and being so deep in it all. It's
Yeah.
Congratulations, though, for real.
Thank
That's
you.
an
I
awesome
appreciate
thing.
it. It's like now that I'm like kind of this deep now, I'm like maybe I should start producing some music too.
So I was gonna because I was gonna ask, do you have aspirations to produce, or do you just prefer mixing?
I do prefer mixing more, but I think it's so funny with when you do mixed music, you are stacking all these types of like drum beats to like timbres and everything all in between. You do start kind of making like a unique sound and you know, sequence over time. So I'm just like now that DJing is this cool thing on social media, now you have edits to mixes, and I'm like, maybe I should do something similar to that. So that's probably what I'm going to lean towards. Because my taste is so wide range, it's hard to be like, what's my sound going to be like? So yeah, I'll definitely get there.
Have you ever tried making like your own music? Or nothing? Not
Maybe
even?
something silly on like a phone app, but like Ableton,
I feel
FLO
that, yeah.
Studio,
Yeah.
I would look at it and I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. And then I just get paralyzed from like actually continuing to try to figure it out.
Something I want to say is never try to box yourself into one thing. Always do what your heart says.
For sure. Yeah.
That's my thing about music. I've done house. I've done EDM. I've done rap. I've done rock and roll and metal and all that. And it's just like, just find your groove. It'll work out for you.
Well,
Always be
the
yourself.
nice thing about EDMs is like you can mash up a lot of things and you can discover new sounds.
That's my favorite part
You
about
know?
it. See, something I tell a lot of people is I was producing for 8 years at this point, and then when I found EDM, it challenged me. It made me want to do more.
Yeah.
It made me want to experiment more with different things.
That's like JPEG Mafia to like,
Oh my God.
you know, to Run the Jewels.
Yeah.
What's
I
another
love
one
that.
that's like you start seeing all these rappers in the EDM scene and they've been thriving. They're like
And personally, way before the EDM entered my life, I was a rap head, bro. Like I would love rap.
It's
Like,
really prominent around this area
and, like,
for sure. The hip hop scene.
And it's
and
like
all
whenever
that.
I hear a good rap song or like an EDM song with rap incorporated, it hits a little special
Yeah.
spot.
What's another one's like Hippie Sabotage.
Yeah.
Too, and Suicide Boys
Yeah.
too. That's all like very EDM-ish. Like all their back tracks and everything is really influenced
sure.
by that. You know.
All right, so getting back into it. So an aspect for me that I really respect and everything is finding other people in my culture that are in the same space and environment and atmosphere that I'm in, and finding out that you're Filipino and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, thank God. I'm not the only one out here.
You know
trying
the
to do
joke
stuff,
on Instagram where just like, "Oi, Philippines, Philippines."
yes.
It's like the Filipino pride is like such a big deal too. Like when they know it's like there's another Filipino, you just know.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's like,
know.
and then we just start kind of gravitating to each other. We're like, so how did you get here? Type deal, like or like what's your background?
That's what I'm about to get into.
Yeah.
though.
Well, let's
Like,
start with you.
so-
How was like now it was like me. It's a little bit of
Shoot.
you.
Oh,
yeah.
No, so I'm second generation. My mom was first. My grandparents came over here. My grandfather, he was in the Navy, got all the way up to being a master chief in the Navy,
Wow.
and then going into the Merchant Marines, becoming a lieutenant and everything. And my grandmother, for me, it's just crazy knowing about her schooling and everything. She became a nurse in the Philippines, and she
Nice.
got all of her certifications and all of her degrees in the Philippines, and then came to America and continued to be a nurse
Yeah.
for 40 years.
That's good.
And you know,
There's so many
and-
nurses in the
yeah,
Filipino community. My older sister's a nurse.
yeah, and not only just my parents raising me though.
Yeah.
It was a lot of my grandparents.
Yeah.
It was a lot of my grandparents, and I feel like a lot of Filipinos, they have that going on for them because, I mean, even with a lot of Latino people I grew up with, like Mexicans and everything. I mean, their grandparents
because
played
you're
a
half
very.
Filipino. I'm
half. Yeah. I'm mestizo. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 100%.
Yeah, I know. No, trust me.
But like based off of your features, like you can tell that you're definitely Filipino. But people who don't know Filipinos like that, they would assume that
I still got the Latinos coming up to me at 7-Eleven asking me complete Spanish questions and stuff. I'm
right, me
estoy
too.
Estoy Filipino.
Yeah. Well, same for me too. Honestly, they always like when I was in Florida, which is prominently like Spanish speaking. They start speaking Spanish to me, and I'm just like I'm fluent. I'm like, no, I speak English.
I try to work with them. I try to give them the little bit that I know.
Right? Yeah. See.
But so with you, like how
did I come about?
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Especially here in the 757 here in Virginia Beach.
Well, just like you, my parents were in the military. Yeah. So you know how like we're in a big military town, and we've like had that large background, especially in the Filipino community, So how I came about, I was actually born in California, but then when I was an infant, I went straight to the Philippines, and my grandma raised me in Manila for like the first 5-6 years. My mom and my dad separated, and then my dad was trying to establish himself, and my uncle actually gave him the opportunity to rebuild himself and join the military. So my dad was actually like a basketball superstar. Like you can look him up.
A lot of people don't know how important basketball is
super important in the Philippines. Like he was like the wizard. He was on newspapers and all that. Like that was his peak. And so I work in people business, and when people see my last name, they're just like, you know who Art is? That's my dad's name. It's just like, are you Art's daughter? Oh, I know Art. He's so cool. Like he was like a basketball star. Is he still playing basketball? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I feel that a lot. No, seriously. So like I wouldn't be surprised if like my mom knew your dad or anything.
Right, exactly.
Like, especially the hip hop crowd around here,
Exactly. I've gotten even people like my age just like, I think I know your dad. He's playing basketball with my dad. Yeah. And with the whole basketball thing, my uncle actually convinced my dad. They're like, they play a lot of basketball and they have leagues in the Navy, and he's just like, say no more. So he joined.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and he built like a whole league, and now he's retired, and he he's running a league for young Filipino Americans. Yeah. So my little brother's on there, along with like anybody who's like even if you're a teeny tiny bit of Asian or Filipino,
He's like pull up the 23andMe 0.1%. You're in.
Yeah, you're in. I'm just like you can't just like have anybody play that.
If you're an oos, you're an oos.
Yeah, you'll play. So yeah, basketball was definitely my dad's life, and then the Navy was his life, and he was saying like that the Navy really like saved his life. And when he then established, he brought my older sister and I from Manila back to the States. So and that's how I kind of came about. Since I thought I was gonna leave town, honestly, I was kind of getting sick of it here because of how I felt like
back then when you were a kid.
Yeah, I would say so. Like even like becoming an adult, I'm just like, dude, there's like a glass ceiling here, and I just can't seem to grow more. But recently with this whole DJing thing, I was like, oh, I'm actually making connections, or people have been very nice. Like, how like culture back in the day, like for mental health has been like they joke about anything about you. Like you're doing something like that you're into, they're like, ha ha ha. Like now everybody's like, oh, that's so cool that you're doing that. Like it's making you happy. And I'm like, you're over here like, oh, this is different,
Trust me. I still deal with it too.
Right, but that's like the Filipinos, they always be making fun of you. Like, you're too fat, you're too skinny. That's like what they point out the first thing, like all the aunties and uncles, let's like kind of lightly talk about that. It's like, that's how family dynamics are.
I showed them one picture of me in a button up. Huh, you should go to school. You look very, very good.
Very good. Yeah.
In a button up. Huh?
Why didn't you go to school? Why did you get your bachelor's? I'm like, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to be a nurse. Like, I don't want to like deal with bodily fluids, like stuff like that, But at the end of the day, they mean well. Yeah, if we look past it, but they just we just need to do better, being mindful, being compassionate, and more graceful to each other. But being in a rave community, you get a lot of that, honestly. Like everybody's been so loving and accepting, and I think that's how I got I gravitated towards that type of music or that type of communities because of that freedom of expression, you know.
Yeah.
And other than the music, like that's like it's just all positive energy. It's all like, you know, it's very high energy. That's just that let you like connect with other people too, you know. I think music is going to always continue connecting other people, but then ever since then it's just been, you know, what do you call it? What?
Did you ever like deal with any like hoopla from family backlash, if you will, because of your choices?
Yeah, I will say so. So I wasn't even allowed to listen to the music that I listen to today.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys asked that because it was such a sensitive subject.
I heard you talking about, I mean, you said, you know, family being very church oriented and stuff.
At the time, but now they're like super chill about it now.
Because
like,
for me, I got very Roman Catholic.
yeah, like
side, you know?
yeah, conservative Christianity is like crazy. Like they were like really deep into it, but also my parents were really young at the time, and they didn't know any better. They were just getting direction from their parents, and you know how the older traditional like you know grandmas and grandpas are. Like they're just like really in their ways and they're just very traditional and they're only stuck in whatever they know.
Yeah, I still go to Easter and midnight mass on Christmas.
Right. But they're still good with just to connect with your family. But like the berating and like in the and there I remember I had to break one of my CDs that my sister and I burned. You know, when you used to burn CDs, I had that shit my age a little bit. It was like we had to.
I used to rip them.
Yeah, give your computer aids from like using LimeWire and all that. Like we weren't allowed to listen to secular music. But I think the whole like thrill of like trying to discover more music also kind of like pushed me to keep doing it. And my parents always like, you're always sneaking and lying behind our backs, and I'm just over here like, I can't even live my life. I can't even put on like the radio.
Fireflies by Alice City. Like,
yeah,
what do you mean?
Yeah, but then now they're just like, cause I couldn't even watch Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm glad
That's
that you guys
crazy.
were both like, yeah. I had to break one of those like in front of them, and that was the one CDs I had to bring back from the Philippines there and there. I couldn't. But then what's so ironic now is they're watching and they're like, this shit is lit, and I'm like, I'm glad that my parents grew out of that.
Yeah.
But now, like back then, it's like I didn't realize how much that really damaged me. But then also, like, I kind of grew, like, grew past that, or like went past that barrier.
See,
of, like,
and I want to say like a lot of the times it feels like they're trying to burden you, or at the same time it feels kind of pressured, you know. But at the same time, there's always that love behind it that they really wanted better for you. At the same time, there was a little bit of manipulation to like, we want you to do this aspect,
you know. And I was like,
but I found for myself, you know, I've come to a point to where they're very understanding and they love what I'm doing. Every single time I come back home from a show, oh, where's the pictures? Where's the videos?
That's a good feeling.
I want to see how many people were there.
Yeah,
you know?
That's so nice. Now that they see you like doing well, that's when they kind of want to like start getting curious about what you're doing. But then when you're always started off, I will say I kind of struggled with like the noise complaints, or just like, what the hell are you playing, or just like, why are you listening to that? That doesn't even sound good. And like, and I'm over here like
something coming from me though. So my mom, first generation, she's very like, grew up in the punk scene and the native tongues,
That's a blessing,
native tongues, hip hop scene and stuff, and like very hipster, I know I'm saying hipster, but very underground and stuff. And like when she found out I'm going to rave, she still says it to this day. Sometimes it hurts a little bit. Oh, you're just a rave kid. Oh, you go to all these big shows. She's like, are you even playing at a show that's illegal? If it's not illegal, then
that's what they think. It's like all the warehouse, like it's all underground.
You know what you hit her with? You'd be like, Mom, were you in the underground block parties that were hip hop?
Probably. I will say that.
That's what you hit her with. Something like that.
No, it's just like I was trying to say earlier. It's like, you know, it builds that tough skin. You know.
It really does. I think if we didn't have that adversity of like, you know, stuff, then I don't think I've been able to like talk or be as sociable as I am now, because you just have to, just in order to survive, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's it's just the thrill of like also that discovery of like just going through those barriers and being like, yeah, it's like, hey, look what I found. Like it's like it feels very rewarding after that. But yeah, thanks for asking that. That's a really cool topic.
I just want to talk about it too, because you don't even know who's listening right now. You know, it's going through the same thing.
For sure. Like, oh no, I went through a lot when it comes to like, but it's also a reflection or a mirror of like what I've like. What developed my sound and why I like listen to what I listen to now. So, but yeah, my parents giving me a hard time didn't stop me from like wanting to do more music and like curating and all that. And but it was still like more internalized when I was just like I'm shy of being in front of people because I was fed into I was being fed and ridiculed and. I think learning past that, now I feel more powerful, more empowered really is the word for it, and stronger than I've ever been before. And I've developed as a person since then. I glowed up is the word for it.
Seems like you definitely have a lot of culture, both of y'all, honestly. Like, one thing I'll say about this man, like his mom hit him with so much culture, just kept stuffing it down.
That's cool. Well, you have the Latin culture, and then you have like the Filipino culture. And Filipinos, they're just all about like hospitality is like one of our number one things. So we just love showing you and having you be a part of it. Like my dad, till this day, he'll be like, oh, we're having a party. We're gonna have karaoke and a bunch of food. Your uncles and aunties are gonna be there. The uncles and aunties are not blood related. No, but they're just aunties and uncles in general. But they're just like, okay, fine. They're just and he'll always have everybody over. And I think just that, like having that gathering.
If you haven't been to a Filipino house party,
then you haven't
have not been living life.
You have not.
If you ain't played volleyball in the backyard, and there's not a deep fryer on the back deck, deep frying lumpia.
Or like a pig on the table, like roasting all that. That's like deep Filipino.
And the aunties are deep in the dining room rolling up some lumpia at the same time.
Or even gossiping too. They have all the chismes like up in there, but you're over here like, in your ears. Your ears are open and they're like, what? You said, but you know, that's how it is in that culture, you know. And lots of karaoke and drinking.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
So I did want to ask too, what's the biggest misconception being a female in our local scene?
Wow, that's a good question. I think in general, maybe I would be like, oh, maybe they would be pre-recording, but I think because of how I not purposely, how I make mistakes live, or even then like I'm actually pressing buttons, or they see me actually doing things live, I've never really have gotten any type of pushback. I will say it's not in regards to being a female. It's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yeah, that's any business too.
Yeah, and that's any business. It's like the networking part, if you really want to get there, you know. So I will say, like, as far as like my gig at Peabody's, like I was friends already with Fado, and I didn't realize that he was like, and he's very humble about it. He does a lot of media, and he DJs over there, and I was just kind of like, hey, so like, who's the guy who really does the talent buying there? And he was just like, yeah, I'll put in a good word for you. Just that little thing can get you like to the next step, you know. And pushing yourself to create this network of friends is so important, because I wouldn't hire somebody that's like shitty to me, you know, or like they're hard to work with. At the end of the day, you can be the most amazing DJ or like person, if you're working with you as a person is like the most important part, you know. So
that's something I would say too. It's like for somebody that was working with people with music for a very long time, doing producing and everything. It's like finding people that are actually going out there and booking events and doing actions and stuff out for people to see in the moment to play these events and everything, and like to get to know those people, you know. It's very important to link up with people that are causing a ruckus, you know. That makes sense.
There's a lot of underdogs out there, I will say, and I try to encourage them a kind heart, and just be like, hey, you don't have to wait for them to book you. Do your own shows, you know. And you just do. You just do.
You or Brandon are just like, Yeah.
Like, isn't that fucking real?
Literally, like I was telling him, because it's like even in the like we had a crazy first year. We just kind of went face first off the diving board and doing
that's
shows.
what you gotta do.
Our end goal was to do shows.
Yeah.
4 months into creating VA Baseline, our first show happened.
And that's why I wanted to like talk with you guys too, because it's just like, why do we have to wait to go in Peabody's to like have the EDM show? But now, like, pop-ups are getting more popular, and I think
there's nothing to hate on Steve's or Peabody's or any of these clubs that are out here.
Yeah, I think they're doing great things.
And even in other cities besides Virginia Beach or the 757,
suffering the same thing.
Just like to create that space of where people can meet up and they can showcase their own talents and abilities. And they can use that as a stepping stone to get to where they want to go next.
For sure. Yeah, I'm glad that you said that because, again, there's nothing, like, ill towards them. It's just, we're just very limited.
I almost look at it like,
and it's intimidating. It's very intimidating.
And being in Virginia, too. Being in Virginia.
Yeah. Like, we have a very tight-knit community, but sometimes it becomes so tight-knit we start cutting off people who could be a part of the community. And I think we're very guilty of that. And I've suffered with that for so long that like there's you going to raves and going to these shows, but then there's you being a part of that, tight knit of people going like, are you just trying to like maybe suck dick just to get into a show? Like that's not what I'm there for. Yeah. Like but I do love what I'm doing, and I think what you're doing is cool, but I don't need to be going from this baby DJ to like going on a big platform. Yeah. I think what we need is a small, like, halfway platform to kind of get your feet wet, kind of like what you guys are doing at, like, the chicken spot and everything, and, like, give them a platform. And it's okay to mess up. It's not like we're playing for EDC. It's not like we're playing for Ultra. Mm-hmm. That's not what this is. Like,
we've had a couple friends, like, where they didn't even have a first show yet. Like, the first place they played at was the chicken spot.
Yeah.
And
or they do it like friends.
For them to move on to doing shows at Peabody's now and everything, I love it. I love seeing that because that's how I started. That's the first thing I tell anybody that does a set for us at a show. Like, I always tell them the same thing. It's like, don't let us hold you back. I want people to see who you are, and I want them to understand who you are. And I want them to see what you can do.
And you never know who you meet there because sometimes, like when I just went to my show in Richmond, it's nice to see all the interactions that happen because the two girls, one is from Northern Virginia, one is from Richmond or Asheville, North Carolina, then moved to Richmond, and they play tech house. Yeah. So they're just like, oh my gosh, we're sound sisters, and just seeing that interaction of just like that connection, and now they're like probably gonna start sending music to each other. I always send music to all types of friends too. Like Ryan Thomas and I are always sending music to each other. I haven't played drum and bass live, but we want a B2B and we have all these silly names for our back to back and everything. Yeah. So, but we send but he has a good ear for drum and bass, and I like drum and bass. It's just my. Not necessarily isn't all. Like,
so how did you come up with the name Mymymy?
Yeah. So that's another thing too. When I immigrated from Manila, Philippines to here, one of the few things that I brought with me is a PS2, and I love Dance Dance Revolution.
I saw it. Stop.
You sounded that's in my studio. I peeped that in the studio. Yeah, so I still have my PS2, and I still have the 2 original discs that my parents got me, and one of my core memories. Like I know each order of the songs when you scroll through, and it ingrains in your brain. Like
I get it.
Yeah. So one of the songs was by Armin van Helden, and the song is called My, and it's a house track, and you know how it's so hard to find like a DJ name, like because you always be googling. I'm like, is this taken yet? Is this taken yet? And mind you, everybody's a DJ now. So I will say I got pretty lucky with mine. No, there's not a lot of DJ names with My. But there are a lot of accounts that go by My. But you just have to like pull that .wave on it, and that's how I got my Instagram account. And or just put having the word DJ in front of it is kind of corny, so you have to kind of like spice it up.
You gotta figure out what looks clean.
What looks clean, and I'm very much like into like having a good like aesthetic and branding and all that. So I've really gravitated to a lot of like London-based like raves and all that. So they use the word selecta a lot, which is like a very like Jamaican word for like a DJ. And I'm like, my selecta. And they've used these sound bites on a lot of garage or grime songs like across like the community. And I'm like, that sounds so fucking cool. I'm gonna use that now. Now it's like all over my YouTube and it's my SoundCloud. Yeah.
I do want to say, like, the past couple weeks listening to your like your sets and everything, every single time there's a really nice bass drop. I just say to myself in the car, I'm just like, my.
Right. That's so nice. Thank you. Yeah, I have a good ear. I think because of like I'm like so exposed to like so many types of like music. I've like picked up. I'm like, okay, if I was Simon Cowell, I would totally be like, I know that song will get really popular. Yeah. And I've like tracked a lot of songs, and I've had that SoundCloud account for 15 years now, like since grade school, like middle school. And I'm like, well, I remember it being like only a couple of likes or a couple of like saves on it, and now it's like millions. And I'm like, I know things. Like Boombox Cartel is one, and he was like he was an itty bitty artist at the time. He was just doing SoundCloud mixes, and then now it's like 1.4 million like listens on it. It's insane. And he's an amazing artist that I look up to.
That kind of makes me want to lead into something that's been on my mind. Is there any artist or DJ or producer that has inspired you to be who you are now?
I know everybody has said this, but I will say Skrillex was one of the bigger ones because I listened to when like UK dubstep, you had like Dr. P to Flux Pavilion and all that stuff, right? Caspa. Yeah. Then I discovered Skrillex, and he had a band before it, and he decided to do a show live with just a MIDI board and all that stuff like in front of a crowd, and it was just like so alien sounding, and it's just like and just so like now they use it for Transformers, you know, for like
he literally made
all those sounds for him. It's crazy. Like Michael Bay, right? Was the one like he hired him to be like, hey.
And it's funny enough because the moment I realized that, I hear the noises and I'm like, makes sense. Like, how did I not realize? And
then he also still stayed consistent and true to himself when it comes to his like art. Like art in his creation, that like all of his stuff is just so many bangers, man. Yeah. So I will say one of the biggest things that I also look up into him is how he presents his DJ sets. A lot of people are just like, oh, you think a DJ set is just like playing a bunch of songs, but I like to compose my music or my DJ sets to be a journey from start to finish. Like you have to have a good intro, you have to have a good ending, and you have to make sure you pace too.
Yeah, and the capability of them all flowing together. Too.
Right. Like obviously, if I want to play Tear Out the entire time, I could, but I'm not trying. I'm not trying to be on high all the time.
Yeah. You gotta know when to pull back and when to push.
Right. A good example is RL Grime, What's So Not, and Toki Monster. If you ever listen to any of their mixes, that's always like a journey where it's like there's highs and then there's lows, and then you just kind of get the feel of the journey of the music as you go. And it's all like ambient too, or like it can be like a heavy drop, or like it picks up and then it's ambient again and it just drops again. So I like that pacing, you know, because it's like reading a book.
It's like you can't. For me, it's like you just can't give people. You can't keep giving people heart attack music the entire time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or like
you gotta give them a break
sometimes in between. So like hard style is just doom doom doom, like this is like freaking hammering them like the whole entire thing. Or you can just like cut out the bass and just be like, oh, okay, all right. Or they go out for a smoke break because that was like so much, and then they come in. Like, no, I want you to stay for the entire show. Yeah. And like engage with me. I will say on the Sippy show, I've never been on a mic ever, but I was definitely like 2 shots of like green tea drinks at that time, and I was just like, I've never played dubstep before, but I was literally like, but this is kind of fun, and now I'm like, and I see everybody just like literally going at it, and some are like grooving, and then they would just like start headbanging once like you get into another peak. I was just like, I guess I'm just yapping at this point, but like I just love the concept of like just trying to keep it, you know, different every single time. You know?
I agree. Yeah, I agree, and that's one thing I've honestly taken in from you. It's like I saw your stuff, and I saw the way you go all the way from like like UK music all the way over to dubstep, all the way over to house, even just some R&B. Like you genuinely mix all types of things up.
Yes.
And I feel like amongst this conversation, we always aim to learn more about the artists themselves, and not only the artist, but the person behind the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're a very authentic, awesome person.
Oh, thank you.
And that's something that like that's really like it's really blown my mind seeing how many different genres you've done and how capable you are to do all those genres and make it sound it sounds good and it rolls together. And it's something that impresses me a lot.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I didn't realize I have that capability until like somebody like the community started like coming forward about it, and I was just like, I just like this music and I just want to share it. I think the part of like it's such a human instinct to just share what you like, and I'm just glad that people are receiving it well. Again, it's just that connection that's like what I seek for, and I'm like, I'm glad that you like it because I'm always gifting to make sure like you guys enjoy it, you're dancing to it, and you're receiving it well and all.
And I know how hard it is out here, especially with different genres when you're trying to push.
For sure.
Out here, I gotta say it. I feel like
It's
rhythm, dubstep, deep dub, and the harder genres of dubstep. They reign king here.
Right,
And
they
the
do.
Your music is definitely what
tight.
has the upper hand here. It's what we tend to have.
I
But
just
there is
want
still a
people
whole house scene and everything.
and there's nothing to hate on that. It's just like I want people to have a more open mind and to understand that there's other things going on besides their own scene, you know?
And that's what I'm here for. I do that to my friends all the time, to be honest. I'm just like, I show them some like, hey, listen to this song. And they're like, oh, I actually kind of like that. That's really fun. Yeah. Or like, if I would always base it off of like what they listen to. And then I'm like, hey, you should listen to this type of music because it's a good kind of like getting your feet wet. Because obviously, like think of it as like a picky eater, right?
Yeah.
A picky eater probably like chicken tenders and fries. But hey, there's other chicken dishes. Yeah. Let me show you chicken teriyaki, like you know, and they're like, oh my gosh, like this is actually really good, or like another type of breaded chicken. Right. So you kind of have to be like, don't put them in the face of like if they're listening to Jack Johnson, like you know, it's like some super chiller, but you're gonna show them tear out music, like or like dubstep, like that's pleasant.
Tear out song, right?
You know, that's like you just don't do that like to them. Yeah. That's just rude.
I feel that. No, seriously.
So that's the best analogy to kind of put about it. And yes, there needs to be a much wider range. But to be honest, I remember when we started introducing EDM into the 757. I went to my first rave, it was like Adventure Club. Yeah. I was literally like, what? I was like, when I saw that booking at Peabody's, I was like, I have to go. So I just turned an adult that time, and I'm just like, I can finally go to a show. And it was like one of my first like favorite melodic dubstep artists. Yeah. And I thought that was too heavy for here. And then it was packed out. I was like really impressed. I'm like, people actually like this around here. So, and then it grew from there. And then the heavy bass scene is definitely a lot more prominent here. Meanwhile, Northern Virginia, they love tech house. Mm-hmm. And then Richmond is a mixture, I will say, in between, but a lot of them are pretty underground. In Florida, they're all house music heads. In California, where my family is at, they're all techno and like house as well. But they also have all the crazy shows there. So. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we are about hitting that time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, thank you for letting us into your home, showing us like your vibe and your aesthetics and how awesome of a person you are.
It's very cozy.
Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are comfortable. That's all I want from you guys.
So far, honestly, it's been one of my favorite interviews today.
Really?
Seriously.
Aww.
And anything you want to tell everybody?
Like anything coming up, any new stuff going on?
So I'm actually trying to bring in more girl DJs into the scene because I want to make sure you guys also have a platform, and I understand what it's like to have stage fright and to have the anxiety to be in front of people. And I'm here to help you guys. I'm trying to run something for March, which is International Women's Month.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I want it to be an all-women's lineup. So if you are a fellow lady DJ, I would love for you to message me. My Instagram is mymymy.wav, like a file, like a wave file. And hopefully I can get you booked, and we'll have a show full of ladies running the show. We can show the boys how it's done. Please, yeah.
Go out, show her love, all accounts, and everything will be down in the description as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I appreciate you guys.
Thank you again.
No,
Cheers.
awesome.
Yes. Thanks.
Thank you for this opportunity. Seriously.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, we can do this again.
For
yeah.
sure. No,
and I'll have more
there won't be a second wave of stuff.
But thank you guys for tuning in. If you want to follow us, follow or subscribe. Links down below. We're throwing a couple shows coming up in the next couple months. Those will be posted on our link tree and everything. And thank you. No, seriously.
And never
It's been a
forget.
very special episode.
And I'll end it with this. Ha, he, huh.